Good morning, Terry. How you doing? You know, it's another day. I can't complain. It's beautiful. I'm alive. Well, bummer, guys. I thought that sunrise was going to be a little bit better than that. Caught it right as it was dissipating. Nothing like a diesel idle in the morning, right, guys? Good morning, world. How is everybody? How is the world? guys can hear that semi, right? That's what I was talking about. Here and there, Don. Not really. I don't watch David's channel. I don't really watch any of that stuff going on down there, to be honest. See, everybody's trying to play, like, politically correct right now. They're all trying to, like, figuring out how they're going to word things and how they're going to say things, and you know what? Tell it how it is. But none of those people are trying to be honest. They're trying to filter their version of the story to make themselves look good to keep their shit going. There you guys go. Look at that. I mean, come on. Does it get any better than that, guys? Shoo! Netherlands. Good morning. How you doing? Don, I don't even know how people can say that. How can you say that the armchair surprise in DC has done more than the TPC. When the TPC started on one side of the country, traveled to the other side of the country, stayed stationary for a month, and then drove back across the country, up the West Coast, and back across the country again. I'd love to hear some total numbers. I mean, none of the top organizers or original people stayed all the way through. I don't believe there's a single person that stayed from the very beginning of Adelante all the way back to DC the second time. I don't believe so. Without leaving. I think the G's probably stayed the most consistent. So, I mean, the logistics alone of moving that many people, that much, staying together, as corrupt and sham and scandalous and whatever happened with the TPC, I still believe that they did more and accomplished more, way more, than 1776 ever will. starting to rain again. I'm loving it. Let's see what's going on in the world. Let's get a little morning thought with Freedom Ford here. Yeah, that rain is starting to come down again. You guys see that the Swiss farmers pointed out the most wanted globalists. They have like a little list going. Kind of find that interesting. Nothing major today so far popping up. Too much as of right now. No good talking points yet. Good morning, Nicole. How you doing? Wait, what? Oh. 429, I'm picking up what you're laying down. I'm picking up what you're laying down. Oh yeah, Nicole. Oh, that's right, you went to bed. Yeah, I even pushed it a little hard there at the end and jogged out the end after a 2 and some hour change walk last night. The last little eighth of a mile or quarter mile or whatever it was, I ran it out all the way and then did the victory lap around the truck. And surprisingly, I thought I was going to feel it a lot more this morning. I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. Alright guys, I'm going to leave you going, but I'm headed into the store real quick and I'll be right back. I'm going to leave you in the bed of the truck here. Guys, like I said, I'm leaving you in the truck and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. I see that most of you left, that's okay. Guess what, guys? Well, at least we got a troll. That means we're doing something right. Steven Sawyer, you know, I don't know. I keep hearing rumors myself. Not exactly sure. You know, a good idea is when everything's silent, that's when shit is really going down, right? The world would not be in this much chaos and it be this silent. Just because. That doesn't... Something's going on. I don't know what. I don't know how, but there's weird stuff going on. Weird stuff at play, that's for sure. You know, guys, I gotta say. I just popped on to good old Fearless 1776 here, guys. I'm gonna pop on just to make sure they're still in the same spot they were just 2 seconds ago. Here, give me a second here. Give me a second. Of course they moved. You know, the thing is, guys, it's like this. I've never, ever, ever, ever in the history of humanity ever heard of a story of anything happening, whether it be a revolution, whether it be a movement, a protest, from, you know, Washington himself, you know. He didn't cross the Delaware sitting on the back of the boat, you know. He didn't, our country wasn't built from the sidelines of an armchair, you know. The optics, I just was watching First Responder, and they were zoomed in on Santa and a big pile of, I don't know if it's supplies or trash, and a real shoddy looking enclosed trailer with some kind of banner on the side of it. And I mean, can you just say ragtag and waste of money? I mean, it just, I don't know. Like I said, I've never seen Santa do anything besides play on that phone and sit in that chair and vape his vape. And I just don't understand how so many people can't see it. It's like, really, guys? That's what you're putting the faith of our humanity in? The faith of our country? You guys really think that ragtag soap opera is gonna get anything accomplished? All weird, right? Steven, I don't care if they had 100,000 people roll in there. I still wouldn't go. It's not for me, guys. Not for me. You know, I care a lot more about what I'm associated with. Oh, and here's a food for thought for you guys, right? Just for anybody that doesn't really know, right? Oh, that was very, very not successful. That was not successful. Not very smooth there, was it, guys? Not very smooth there. All right, let's try this again. Let's try this again. So, this right here is actual Stonehenge, right? This is the real Stonehenge in the UK. Okay? So this is what they say is, you know, ancient and all this crap, right? But this is the real Stonehenge. Good morning, Muddy. How you doing? This is the real Stonehenge in the UK. Okay? The real Stonehenge. Now, what they don't tell you is that Stonehenge should have had this picture saved as well. My fault, guys. My fault. Okay, so if that was just a regular picture of Stonehenge, right? I'm doing good, Muddy. Thanks for asking. So that was a regular photo. If you just go on to Google Images and type in Stonehenge, those are photos that you can see. Now, they tell us and they educate us in the sense that those are how they found them. And that's exactly what they tell us, right? But if you literally just type in old photos of Stonehenge on the tubes of you, or Google's, old photos of Stonehenge, you get things like this. Or like this. So why is there cranes erecting rocks if they're historic? Right? If it's a historic thing, and that's how we found it, what is this? Okay? So that's showing you that it's been altered. Now I'm showing you how they mess with our minds, right? Because this is what they're referencing as America's Stonehenge. We all know what these are. We were talking about these the other day, right? These are the wonderful guide stones that are no more. They went van poof. Okay? But they're calling this America's Stonehenge. Now, how does this and this look similar? That's the Stonehenge in the UK. That is the Georgia Guidestones. What all our media is calling American Stonehenge. Right? And here's another one. Check this out. You ever seen this picture? How about that one? Now that looks like Stonehenge, doesn't it? There you go. Let's go back here, guys. Now this is Stonehenge. This is Stonehenge in the UK. Real Stonehenge. Altered, but the real Stonehenge. Georgia Guidestones? What is this? This is the actual American Stonehenge. This is a size replica of the actual Stonehenge. This is in Washington State. That's the Columbia River in the picture, in the background. And that's Oregon on the other side of the river. This is American Stonehenge. American Stonehenge. I believe that's Mount Hood in the background. I believe. You Oregonian Portland folk, you guys can correct me on that, but I believe that's Mount Hood in the background. Georgia Guidestones. Satanic globalist trash. Actual Guidestones. Or excuse me, Stonehenge. Some good old food for thought for you guys. Any of my CDL guys out there, if you guys are up there on the Columbia River Gorge, if you just look, Google Stonehenge replica, you'll see it up there. Yeah, it's on Stonehenge Drive. See, disheveled, I'm teaching you stuff about your own backyard. Look at that. Yeah, what is it? The, not the butterfly effect, the Mandela effect. I've looked deep into that Mandela effect. I think is what it's called. But the Stonehenge is right there off the gorge, off the Lewis and Clark Highway. It's in Maryhill, Washington, across from Biggs Junction, Oregon. So, I mean, I don't know. Just find it interesting, right, guys? Just find it interesting. That's all. I don't know the story. Don't know the story. Not claiming to know the story. About as confused as I ever was. Just find it interesting. Yeah, it's worth it, disheveled. I mean, the gorge is always beautiful to go see. Did you look it up? Did you just Google Stonehenge, Washington? If you just type in Stonehenge and then Washington under the YouTube search bar, maybe it pops up for me because I've searched it a few times, but it pops up right away. So, I mean, how can you call the Georgia Guidestones the American Stonehenge when there's clearly a sized replica of the actual Stonehenge, and the similarities between Stonehenge and that is nothing more than the similar style of rock? I mean, I'm baffled by that. Why are they trying to put significance to those damn stones? Especially with the message that entails. I'm baffled by that. Right on, disheveled. Appreciate that. Well, of course, Stephen. They're trying to alter our way of thinking and stuff. Just putting out there different things, getting you guys to think a little bit outside the box, It doesn't all have to be politics, Most of the world's problems are nothing to do with politics. That's just another form of entertainment like the NFL and the NBA. And I'm just saying, let's be real here, guys. If you guys are watching ball sports in any way, shape, or form, baseball, basketball, football, if you're watching ball sports, you're supporting China, hands down. If you support ball sports, you support China. Prove me wrong. Everybody talks about I don't believe that, disheveled. I believe the opposite. I believe the light wins. I believe God wins. And either way, I'll die happy either way, because I know what I believe, and that's okay. But no, really, they teach us in school about this thing called boycotting, right? Kind of like the Boston Tea Party, right? We don't want that damn tea. Protesting doesn't do anything. And if it does, again, prove me wrong. I'm not perfect by any means. You see the bee getting pollen? Turning into the National Geographic Channel, I tell you. Already starting to get warm in here, guys. Already starting to get warm. Yeah, Danny, it's been pretty good this year. I'm liking it. You know, I was saying we're gonna have a great monsoon season at the beginning of this year because of how early the monsoon came on and how big of a turnout. You know, I mean, I gotta think it's, what is it, July? I don't even know what today's date is. July 18th. That is absolute insanity, you guys. It's July 18th. And we have clouds in the sky. Like, what? And I mean, like, consistently, right? Prescott? I was thinking about going to Prescott today, Danny. Typically, you're right, Danny. Typically, we've been having a weird little whatever's going on, huh? Prescott, you know, got that Prescott. Well, you know, I could be like the rest of them valley folk and say Prescott, you know. Prescott. It's a Prescott. Actually, I can't even lie. I need to go to the river. Oh, this is so humid and nasty down here, man, I tell you. Trying to get up the flag is what I'm trying to do, but I'm kicking my butt trying to get both vehicles up there. Prescott, you know. Man, I thought that Godstone would at least spark some kind of conversation. Jeez. Y'all are a lively bunch today, I'll tell you. Big Nose Kate is buried in there. Big Nose Kate, what? Not sure who that is. But this is what I was referencing earlier, guys. This is what I was talking about. Look at all the trash, supplies, whatever you want to call it. Their little ghetto trailer and their little PVC sign that's all sagging down, and just, I cannot in any way, shape, or form associate myself or the Freedom Ford with anything that looks like this. This is the biggest haphazard. I mean, what kind of representation is this? This is what everybody thinks is going to save our country. Seriously. This is what everybody wants to donate money to, so they can have trash piled up on the sidewalk with our Capitol in the background. It's supposed to be about freedom in our country. Where's the representation of the American flag? Draped on the back of some ghetto enclosed trailer, rolled up against the side of the pickup, draped down, touching the whole toolbox in the bed of the truck. Like, this is what I'm talking about, you guys. It's all a charade. It's all a show, including this crap. And if you're dumb enough to support this and dumb enough to give your money to this, hey, it's a free country. Nobody said we had to be intelligent. That's what I'm saying, guys. I don't talk about it because I don't like speaking and putting out negativity. But it's like, you guys, when you keep coming in here saying, you know, like, go check out this movement and all this crap, like, go to Bunker Hill, you know, all this dumb stuff. It's like, you guys, come on. You guys got beer goggles on? I'm just saying, you know. Well, at least Oreo Express called it out clear, you know. Last night's video, instead of hold the line, he says hold the lawn. I mean, at least he knows what it is, you know. He's calling it out. I'm not watching his stuff, so I can't say exactly, but lost its charm? Yeah. Well, Muddy, at least we're starting a Monday off correctly. We don't need a case of the Mondays. That's what irritates me, you guys, is they're so slimy and scandalous, and they have such few morals that they're 100% okay putting that crap on the internet and putting it out there like they're gonna do something, and getting people that are at home to donate their money. Like, yeah, it's a free country and a free world, and people can throw their money at whatever they want. I agree, blah, blah, blah. However, land of the free, home of the brave. Brave enough to not be afraid of conflict. Brave enough to not be afraid of debate. Brave enough to call a scammer a scammer. Dishonesty is dishonesty. Immorality is immorality. Again, disband this 1776 restoration movement horseshit. Call yourself the Patriot Carnival, the Hillbilly Circus, you know, the lawn chair linebacker, you know, something. Don't sell yourself to the American people like you're actually going to do something. We're talking the U.S. government. There's people still sitting in jail from January 6th, you guys. If those people cared anything about our freedoms, they'd be protesting the people that are sitting there in jail, right there in the town they're in. No, Jolin, that's the problem that created the shit show in this country. Because people literally want to sit there and just blind eye, turn a blind eye. Hello, turning a blind eye is what gave these liberal lunatics the power to get into the position in these countries that they were in. Because people kept turning a blind eye. Conservatives just said, oh, it's not my fight. Oh, it's just not my fight. Oh, it's just not my fight. Conservatives have a huge burden in all this. Why? Because they're too conservative. They sit there and stay to themselves way too much. Again, land of the free, home of the brave. We're free, and we should be brave. But I don't see any bravery in this country. You can't even be brave enough to stand up against this shit show within our own movement to correct the movement. Oh, I just have to blindly support the blind. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Again, the power of boycott. Simple, you guys. Simple. How many of you still shop at Walmart? How many of you still support Amazon? How many of you still support all this crap? You really want to make change, yet you go and buy shit off of Amazon. Well, where does that come from? China? Hello? Oh, I don't care, it's cheaper. Who cares? That's why they have the power, because Americans are lazy and they're not brave. We're not the land of the free, home of the brave anymore. We're like the freak parade. Sick, lame, and the lazy, blind, crippled, and crazy. The shit show of the world, you know? And really 1776, all this is the 2022 version of Days of Our Lives. It just keeps going and going and going. You want to make change? Boycott. Plain and simple. Boycott. There's more power in boycott than there is in anything else. Why? Because you take their bottom line out.
They don't have a platform to stand on if they don't have any money. How many people still have Netflix? How many people still support Disney? How many people still have Hulu? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I want the freedom of our country, but I'm going to go home and turn on my Netflix. Get the out of here with that shit. Again, if you support ball sports, who the hell supports giving someone that throws a ball around millions upon millions upon millions of dollars while tradesmen and cops and veterans and teachers get absolutely pennies on the dollar? Priorities are way screwed up. Way screwed up. It's like, you know, as soon as I found out Home Depot donated millions upon millions of dollars to Black Lives Matter, regardless of how easy it is to just go to a Home Depot, I go to Lowe's and I don't waste my money at Home Depot. Now, there are still things that you have to go to Home Depot for that nobody else sells. But everything in my power, as much as I possibly can, I do not support Home Depot. I mean, yeah, we are. Danny, because we gave them the power. Because Americans are complacent and lazy. You want to know what America's going to look like in 20 years? Go watch the movie WALL-E. The children's movie WALL-E. That's what America's going to look like in 20 years. 1776 is making sure that we head that way, if you know what I'm saying. Big old pile of trash sitting in the lawn chair. Big old spare tire. Oh yeah, we're headed there. WALL-E is on our horizon. Yeah, disheveled. I mean, we're 100% there. 100% there. Why? Because nobody wants the truth. Everybody just glued to their cell phone. Granted, it's not on our floating chair popped up on a screen, but it's getting there. Look at the tablets. The tablets keep getting bigger. The mounts keep getting more, you know. Hey, Sarah, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. You don't need a movement. You don't need to donate your money to the movement. You know, like, can we have a movement? Absolutely. We're having one right now, 29 people deep. You know, what do we need to have people sitting in a physical location for? I think Washington is the enemy. Plain and simple, Washington. Big gooberment. Our country was not set up to have big gooberment. Raymond's porch views. Take it on the chin. Funny if no one asked me how. It just proves my point. Not sure what you mean by that, Raymond. Clarify if you don't mind. I think there should be term limits, and I think lobbying should be outlawed. You know? People are too complacent. I mean, just look at those cops all the way back to Sacramento, you know, that were protecting those two, you know, paper pushes from the legislative office. If they weren't given those protections, they wouldn't write those bills. But they write that crap because nobody confronts them. Exactly, Jolin, but it's not the current government because Antifa started way before this. You guys got to understand, this goes so much deeper than just the most recent political race. You know what I'm saying? Like, this goes back to when they whacked Lincoln. We're talking 1871 is when the corporation of the United States got started. You know? You guys got to truly understand the difference between the corporation, the United States, and the constitutional republic, the United States. Fernando, I don't know it by name. If you're talking about Arizona and their most recent can't film cops within 8 feet law, that's what sparks my mind when you say AB 5, but I'm not positive, so throw it on us, Fernando. Well, Trump can't do anything by himself. He is not God. He can't make people do stuff. People do it themselves. Trump just has enough money to call it how it is and not give two shits. Remember, Trump was a registered Democrat his entire life, up until running. That's why I say political parties mean nothing. Good morning, Philip. How you doing? Oh yeah, the owner-operator thing. No more owner-ops in Cali. But again, that goes to show that's the problem, though, Raymond and Fernando and Philip. People keep paying these monies. And those monies is what keeps giving these politicians, these companies, the power to do whatever they want, right? But that's the thing. They took out the owner-operators. Why? Because that's like one of the last things left in America that was middle class. It's the dissolvation of our country as a whole. Why do you think they brought in so many immigrants from around the countries and around the world into our country? Look at the amount of immigrants that drive semi. Why do you think semis were the last organization or the last entity to still have the freedom of the American dream, to be able to buy a truck and make it? Because that was the last true industry. They imported enough immigrants. Now there's enough immigrant drivers. There's not enough value in our country. There's not enough drivers in our country that'll shut it down. Canada had to show us what it was like to be brave. Because there's more brave Canadians than there is brave Americans. Exactly. Because what would happen? Americans would do the same thing that the Dutch are doing. Yeah, Fernando, but it won't last long. It'll be a couple days and it'll fizzle off. There's no bravery, there's no fortitude, there's no spine in America. They've completely dissolved our country from the inside. Why? Because Americans are complacent. Most Americans have never left the country. Most Americans have never seen true evil. Most Americans only know the comforts of this country. That's why an immigrant from any other country in the world will come here and outwork an American. Absolutely, Sarah. There is no unity. You know, it's the United States, you know? The unity flag of freedom. Other countries have more pride in our flag than we do, as Americans. It's a joke. But you're correct, Fernando, you're correct. But that's why they brought so many immigrants into this country. There's not enough truckers that have the balls to shut it down. Absolutely, Tiger. And that's the point. And that's why conservatives need to pull their heads out of their asses and wake up. Yeah, Stephen, and that takes time. And that takes time from each individual states. And if you break it down to the Bible, that's exactly what it says. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Stephen Tyler, avoid donations or OPM. Yeah, Stephen, that's what I do. That's why I'm not in that movement, because all they're doing is begging for money. I got my own life to live. We all met each other because of that movement. That's wonderful. Now, from that, we can group together. Because look, we have a group that's not just statewide or countrywide, but worldwide. Well, God says you must destroy evil, Jalen, and misery loves company. So, I'd rather be alone than with people that have, wrong morals. That comes back to the saying, I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. I don't even worry about that, Raymond, to be honest. As far as I'm concerned, get rid of technology, fuel, everything. Go back to horse-drawn buggy. I'm okay with that. Why? Life would slow down. We lose technology, we'd go back to communication and conversation. Without technology, we don't know what happened halfway around the world, so we don't care. We simply focus on our lives. Fernando, my truck repair was $2,400. And basically it was a series of things that they did, but it all ended up being electrical. Thanks, Philip. Let me park and I'll kind of update you guys on exactly what it was and everything. Okay, so the Ford was, it was a series of things, like I said, but a lot of it was they couldn't properly diagnose it until damn Fernando, that don't sound good. But mine ended up being electrical harness. 2 spots. One, the electrical harness that connects to the cam sensor, and then the electrical harness that plugs into the IDM relay. So they replaced those 2 sections of harness. They replaced the cam sensor. They rebuilt my gauge cluster, so all my gauges work now. And oh, they told me that I need motor mounts, but they don't sell motor mounts at Ford anymore, so I got to buy them aftermarket. And I have a hard time finding them right now. They found them, but they're mechanics and they know what they're looking for. I'm dumb with this stuff. Right on, Steven. I appreciate you stopping back by. Yeah, Joe, and steered us away from God, 100%. And that's just it, you know. What does God say, you know? Farm your land, love your family, grow your family, da-da-da-da-da. Cheap repair, Fernando? In the semi-world, sure, that's a cheap repair. But that is not a cheap repair. I don't care what you talk about. $100 per week? I wish. $100 don't even get me a full tank. So Fernando, that bill's cheap, so you can pay it for me, right? Hey, take it easy, Muddy. I appreciate you coming by. Fernando, my truck is not in a position to be at work again right now. I still need to do some things to it. Needs motor mounts. And my ABS light is on. Yes, Danny, I'm in the North Valley. You know exactly where I'm at being from Prescott. You should know exactly where I'm at coming down into the valley from Prescott, Danny. Are you going to put a FI? Huh? Huh, Fernando? Huh? I have no idea what you're saying. Yeah, Fernando, I've always done work for myself. You know, I can do just about anything. I cut my teeth in the remodeling trades, you know, concrete and framing and remodeling, construction, drywall, a little bit of electrical and plumbing, and, you know, enough knowledge to be able to build my own house. And then I got a back injury and I got into CDL world, so CDL world was good as I was getting into it, but then politics took over and I don't know, I'm just not interested. I'm in that transition right now, Fernando. That's to you too, Jalen. Yeah, I mean, I'm flying. I got the half Gats and half American flags that I've been flying, but I haven't been driving the truck too much. It's just kind of been sitting. I'm doing transitional things in life, you know. Maybe if I got online and begged for money every day, I could afford to just drive around in my truck, you know, but love it. Dude. Hey Danny, you're up in Prescott. What are you doing today? I'm headed that way. Maybe you could help me out. Fernando, I know that's a joke, right? I wasn't part of that shit show. I was not part of that shit show. I got priorities, Fernando. You know, I got a moral compass. You know, I can't sit here and beg the internet money or the internet world for money for air horns and then turn around and beg the internet for money for my bills at home. I can't do that. Flying drones, Danny. Now that sounds fun. You feel like driving, Danny? You feel like driving at all? You love aerial photography. Well, maybe we could do something. Get some aerial photographs of the Freedom Ford with the flags flying. That'd be kind of cool. Well, I've never been to a single lake up in Prescott, but I mean, that sounds amazing. I can't lie there. Yeah, Danny, I'm basically trying to drive 2 trucks up that way. Looking at Prescott, Flagstaff, Sholo. Not sure. Prescott being the closest is where I was headed on first because it's on the way to Flag. And because it's a lot more like-minded people up there in Prescott, Danny, than down here in the valley. That's why I'm looking at trading out. Raymond, you know, that couldn't even be a more accurate statement either, right? Because I'm right at the northernmost point of the Phoenix metropolitan area before you start heading up the hill and headed up towards Flagstaff. So there's a couple fuel stops north from here, but as far as the main drag, the main stretch, it's a straight shot all the way. I mean, you got a couple spots, like I said, you got New River, there's a decent truck stop. Well, I shouldn't say it like that. They have truck pumps, but it's not a truck stop. I don't believe there's a single truck stop all the way. Cordis Junction, I think you could consider that a truck stop. That's a nice little hub right there. Watson Lake, look it up. Okay. Wow. Holy crap. Where the frick is that, Danny? That's pretty cool. That's really cool. Oh, right on. Right on, country boy. Or good old boy now. Yeah. You guys, I gotta admit, that good old boy right there, he's got a life, I tell you. Cruising that tractor, he just sent me a video. I'll tell you, beautiful pasture, nice, beautiful weather, out there cruising the tractor, doing farm work today. Man. Oh, minimum, Raymond, minimum. See, Phoenix is not like any other city, you know. Phoenix is very spread out, which makes that even more. $100 a week in fuel, that's nothing. You're talking more like $200 a week, if not more, depending on the vehicle. I know I'm definitely spending a lot more than $100 a week on fuel. You figure all these cars that are going north, Raymond, these cars you probably spent $100 for today for this trip. So north is to the right of the screen. So all these cars in the foreground are going north. That semi going to the left of the screen, that is southbound. That just came down from Flagstaff or Prescott and spent $100 to make this trip. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what brought up this whole conversation about commodity and all that, but yeah, that's what it is. Good morning, Irvin. Virginia, right on. Kind of why it's all kind of in the limbo there, Fernando, is fuel cost, you know? That's a big part of it. I'm at a transition in life right now, currently. A lot of variables at play. B&H Production, what's going on? How you doing? Damn humid. I don't know what the temperature is. Let's see. 82. Absolutely, Raymond. Absolutely. Literally, gas prices would drop to 99 cents a gallon in 2 seconds if everybody just said, you know what? Screw it. I ain't driving. But that's why they had to intermix all the countries, and because you don't have enough people that understand the freedoms here in this country that we offer that will stand up for their freedoms. Most of the people are used to being oppressed and used to being bullied and used to being told how to live and how to do it. So they don't fight for their freedom here. Yeah, Danny, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm trying to get up there. I mean, yeah, Stephen, there is some truth to that, you know. But again, it's not a simple, oh, it's all Biden's fault, you know. There's a lot more to the story. There's a lot more at play. It's just like Trump's not the save-all, you know. Trump's a good representative, but he's not a save-all. He's not God. Just like Biden is not the evil to blame for everything. Stephen, but you could say the same damn thing about every rhino Republican conservative in Congress as well. It takes two to tango, right? Sitting here on this argument the way you are right now, saying it's all Biden, it's all the Democrats, it's all, you know, all this crap. No, man, I don't see that. I think that's part of the divide, the designed divide. How many parties were there in the government when this country was founded? Let's answer that question. Bro, your tarp is around your tire. He doesn't know how to strap a tarp. Yeah, Raymond, simply does not drive. Yeah, but Stephen, you gotta look at both sides, man. Show me one Republican that's doing something other than being a mouthpiece. It's all a sham. It's all a sham. It's pushing us as people in this country to go back to what's important. God doesn't say politics are important. God doesn't say that any of this crap is important. God says love your neighbors, love your family, be a good person, farm your land, be happy. Basic and simple. Obviously, there's a whole lot more to the story, but in a nutshell, that's basically what it is. Good morning, Yolanda. How you doing today? Absolutely, Raymond. Right on, Danny. Well, Danny, you wanna help the Freedom Ford today? Basically, I'm gonna drive one vehicle up to Prescott, and I need a ride back to the valley to get the second vehicle to bring it back up to Prescott. So I'm trying to get 2 vehicles to Prescott. Good old Prescott. Oh, no worries, Danny, no worries. Oh, come on, Yolanda, it ain't too bad. I hear ya. Steven, that would make too much sense now. Janet, you're up in Prescott as well? Williams, oh wow. Yeah, Steven, that's what I would have done if I was TPC, you know. Like I said, you know, if people would have really put some thought into this, they could have made something out of it, especially how much money they had. Like you say, you got 3 properties. Yeah, 3 properties where you can park, utilize, hang out. meet, conjugate, share ideas. Exactly. Oh, finally, guys, the Brinks truck's on its way to deliver my money. Dang, he turned. Exactly, that's what I'm doing. Looking at just a little pit stop. I could use a pit stop somewhere up there and just figure it all out. You know, right now it's so darn hot down here, I can't even function properly. How's the humidity up in Prescott? How's the cell signal up there, Janet? That's part of what's kept me away from Williams. I've heard the cell signal is kind of spotty up there. Yeah, I'd much rather be up there though, that's for sure. I'd probably be shooting for Flagstaff right now if it wasn't all flooded out between the fire and the flood that they just had. Too expensive to live where, Janet? Yeah, Danny, but that's the goal, right? To live somewhere you don't need HVAC. Not only is it a waste of energy, but it's horrible. Oh, yeah. Don't even get me started on that one, Janet. Like, what in the absolute... I mean, seriously. What is up with the price of anything in Flagstaff, right? Yeah, you are not joking. Yeah, anybody want a culture shock? Look at the price of anything in Flagstaff. Oh, you used to do HVAC. That's even worse, Danny. That's even worse. Hey Kat, how you doing? I'm doing pretty good, can't complain. You ain't wrong, Danny, you ain't wrong. Fernando, what do I think about Trucker G? I don't really have an opinion on Trucker G. I didn't have an interaction. You know, there's things that make me go, huh, that just don't make sense, you know? But I don't know enough to have an opinion on Trucker G. I barely met him. I don't know enough. Like I say, there's just some things that make me go, what? I have questions. I could enjoy a conversation with him and his wife. The one conversation that I had with him, or two conversations, if you will, 1.5 conversations I had, were both under such weird terms that I didn't get to know either one of them. I know that they're not on the same transient level as the majority. I know that. They're on the upper echelon. How much involvement they have with this TPC shit and all the corruption and scamming and swindling and all that, I don't know. I don't have a clue, you know. I've heard some crazy things. I've heard a lot of rumors about them, but again, that's just rumors, you know. If I based it solely on the 2 interactions I had with them, they're nice, you know, on the surface. But I mean, most people are. I mean, I've heard those rumors, Fernando, but I don't personally have enough, you know, opinion to form on that one. I interacted with the man. That's about it. Danny, I think Josh and Joe needs to get back to their family, just my opinion. Josh, is that Oreo? I think that's Oreo. And Joe, that's first responder. You know, to each his own. I don't know their personal stories. I don't know their lives. I don't know anything about them, you know. Muddy, that's kind of what I gathered, but, you know, again, I don't have enough interaction. You know, on the surface, sure, that's what it seems, you know. But, again, I can't, you know, everybody can put on a front and a show, you know. Who they are actually as human beings, what their core belief structure is, I don't know. I don't have a clue. I didn't get deep with them like that. I think they thought I was a kid and they didn't understand me at all. And then there was one conversation I had with them, really the main conversation at a gas station. And I think they understood that I wasn't just a kid at that point. And they gave me a lot more respect after that. But then they also disappeared shortly after, so I can't really say much, you know. They disappeared and then I disappeared and we all broke our ways, you know. Yeah, he's probably, you know, at that transitional period where most of us are, you know. Most of us are in a transition. Yeah, Kat, and I think TPC from Adelante to DC was an absolute solid movement. I truly do. I believe that all those people that were involved were in it for the right reasons. However, Um, yeah, Muddy, you ain't wrong. It's because I got a baby face, you know, that's part of it, you know. I got a baby face and I don't grow a, you know, Fu Manchu looking beard kind of thing, you know. I just, mountain man beard, you know, I couldn't if my life depended on it, first of all. Second of all, it's just not my style. Yeah, Kat, a lot of people are realizing that, you know. All these McMansions. Well, thanks, Muddy. I appreciate that. All these McMansions in the world, people are realizing, like, why have a house and all these bills and be stationary when people want to see the world? They want to see what the country has to offer. They want to see what the world has to offer, and you can't do that when you're stuck in a McMansion, you know. You know, and I get that, Kat. The problem is, just because of my physical age doesn't mean anything. And that's where a lot of people get it construed, right? They think because I look like I'm a baby and I'm in my 20s, and then my actual age, you know, people just play me as young. But here's the thing, Kat. I don't have that mom and dad element, that grandparent element, that aunt and uncle element, right? I've been on my own my whole life. So I associate and get along with and am more like-minded with people 55 plus than I do my own age. I'm in this weird phase because I'm right at the beginning of the millennial age group, but I grew up in a foster family, so I grew up like the older generations, a lot harder. Oh damn, Danny. Yeah, like Babyface Nelson, Babyface Andrew. Oh boy, here it goes. You know, Danny, I can't lie. The 30s is a good time. I like that era of life, right? You know, and I've always joked about going back to that style, you know, dressing like that all the time. Yeah, Kat, that's why I base everything off of respect. You know, people want to, oh, you're just a kid, and oh, you're just 30, and oh, you're just this, you don't know anything. I run circles around most grown adults. People that want to sit down and have an intellectual conversation with me, let's do it. Most people can't keep up, and that's why they get mad, and they belittle me, and they badmouth me, and they slander me, because they can't even keep up with me, and I'm half their age, you know? I run circles around most people, and I'm not saying that out of ego. I'm merely just a vessel that's driven by the power of God. Nothing more, nothing less. My life has been similar to a story of Job. You know, and if it wasn't for faith, I wouldn't make it, right? God is the only thing that has got me through or made me through the things that I have been up against, you know. That's why I'm so dominant and adamant about respect in public, you know, and in all these videos. And when I quote unquote blow up and I'm losing my cool, or however many different ways people want to word it, No, it's about respect, you know? And that's where 99.9% of humanity has lost the sight of what's important. And that's where I try to get it back to that, is it's about respect. We respect all people. Hey, Stacy, how's it going? But Bonnie, most people haven't went through true struggle and true hardship. Most people have sat here in the comforts of this country and lived the most pampered life possible. The only reason I have the outlook I do is because I've lived through the life that I've lived. I hit every bump on that dirt road. I've went through those hardships. I've went through those climaxes. I've had the good times. I've had the bad times, the way people used to. I haven't stayed safe. I haven't stayed in the safety and comforts of my own little world. I'm not in my hometown that I grew up in. I'm not around the people that I grew up around. I've traveled and traveled and traveled and traveled and traveled nonstop. I'm a nomad at 35. I've been on my own my whole life, my whole entire life. I had family bounce in and out from 13 to 18. They kind of made attempts and this and that, and realistically just wanted to kill my spirit, you know. Nobody wanted to listen to the facts and the reality, you know. And one day I might get into that on the internet world, but I'm just not at that point in position in my life yet. So that's why, like, you know, I'm 35, but I don't get along. I don't get... Yeah, see, Kat, you understand. You understand real life. And through each one of those hardships, you learned and you grew and you became a better person to the person that you are now. And compare yourself to someone who has never been through any kind of those struggles, who is your same age. And can you relate to them on the same level? Probably not. You're probably at that position where you see life a lot more differently than someone who has not seen that struggle. And I'm in that same position. Most people 35 years old, yeah, I could imagine, Kat. That's a big one. Yeah, see, you guys all know it's a struggle of life. It comes, it goes. It's, you know, you have ups, you have downs, you live, you learn. Money comes, money goes. Material things come, material things go. People come, people go. And what are you left with in the end? Yourself. And so that's what you have to be happy with. That's what you have to make happy. That's what you have to heal. That's what you have to grow, is yourself. Man, it's getting to that humid hot point where I can't even sit here no more. That's pretty awesome, Kat. That's pretty awesome. I just don't personally get along with people my own age, typically. Because most 35-year-olds, you got to think, 35, we're at the very, very beginning of millennial stage, right? I'm the beginning of a millennial. I don't associate with millennials. Are you kidding me? I do not identify as a millennial. Are you kidding me? You know, and because I'm young and I'm clean cut, people just assume that my life is good, or assume that my life is perfect, or assume that I've got all the help in the world, you know, or assume that, you know, this, that, and the next thing. But the reality is the reality. Amen, Kat. Amen. Dang, Janet, that's brutal. See, when I learned how to build houses, I was framing houses in Arizona temperatures at $8 an hour. That when I learned how to build houses. Right on, Janet, right on. Well, then you guys can all understand this. My mother, my birth mother, never grew up out of Woodstock. She never woke up. Yeah, Janet, that's... Well, my thing was, Jesus' dad, John, was a carpenter, right? And Jesus was a carpenter. So my thought was, if I don't have a family that's ever going to hand me down anything, I'm never going to inherit anything, where do I start? Well, you can't look at a modern day mold and try to make it, because a modern day mold is based on your parents handing you down stuff. So if you don't have parents to hand you down anything, how do you make it, or how do you create a future for yourself? You look at a time when they had a similar story, right? That was when people rode west. When a cowboy would leave his family back east, saddle up what do you call? Leave his family back east, saddle up the horse. What he fit in his saddlebags is what he took with him. Rode west, found a place, built a cabin. Lived in that cabin, built a land for himself, farmed the land, raised cattle, etc., moved his family west in the wagon trains, etc. That's how you made it. And so that's just what I've approached. I wanted to be able to build my own home. So I did all the trades growing up to this point to learn how to build my own home. Oh, been there, done that, Danny. I know all about attics in Phoenix. It ain't no good. But see, what kills it is the insulation. That blown-in insulation crap that they have down here. And Yolanda, you're not wrong. If it doesn't kill us, it definitely makes us stronger. When you're backed into a corner, the only place you got is to go up. Right on, Bonnie. Yeah, you ain't wrong, Danny. Cotton candy monster. Yeah, like the friggin' abominable snowman, right? But that's just it, Exactly, Stephen. They made it then, I'll make it now. We all make it, right? And we're in that position now. It's just a 100-year cycle. Every 100 years, the world goes through a kind of like recycle, and it's not a bad thing. It really isn't. Exactly, Brenda. Exactly. You know the struggle. And that's just it. But see, what is something that they had back in the 30s, in the Depression, Brenda, what did you have back when you were a kid that we lost nowadays? Kat, what did you have that we lost nowadays, right? What is a big thing that we no longer have? But yet we're creating right here on this channel. Community, right? We lost the sense of community. Yeah, Bonnie, I know the struggle. I was carrying cinder blocks in the summer times at that age. I know about that. Family, exactly. Well, yeah, that's a big thing. But see, here's the thing. What is a family? Define family. Because I'll tell you this, a relative is not family. Right on, Yolanda. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you very much. You have a great day. Sometimes your chat goes blank when you go through a funky cell signal area. If you close it down and reopen it, it'll pop back up. Wow, Raymond, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. That's a life. Exactly, Brenda. Exactly. No. You had family, Brenda. But that was my point, right? There's a difference between relatives and family. Brenda, your family would have been your friends, the people you had close to you, the people that you had growing up, you know. Amen, Janet. A lot of us go through that, and that's why I say relatives and family are different. Just because they're your blood does not make them your family. Janet, you felt guilty when 9/11 happened and you can't pass a polygraph? I'm confused. That sounds like a troll comment. I'm not trying to be disrespectful by any means, but that totally sounds like a troll comment. Please elaborate on that one. See, and I think this is why I got so upset with people in the convoy, you know, is it's like, when you're fighting for your country, you're fighting for unity. And I didn't see that in the convoy. And the thing is maybe there was parts of that in the convoy, you know. but I know somebody that was there the first 19 days from Adelante on, and they say all the exact same things that I say. So, absolutely, Brenda, but your friends are your family. That's what I'm trying to explain. The definition of family does not mean blood. That means blood is relative. Danny, we know. Yeah, Kat, that I went through it myself, and a lot of us do, in all honesty. Like, I'm the scapegoat for a lot of people. It's easy to put the escape on the guy with no family, right? It's his fault. It's his fault. It's his fault. Damn, Raymond. Damn. Respect, my friend. Respect. Morning, Hugh. How you doing, buddy? Well, shoot, don't everybody just jump out there in conversation at once? Hot diggity. We just died off real quick, guys. Brenda, are you the one whose daughter is a sheriff? I believe it was a sheriff. But was a local cop up there, Brenda? Oh, that's pretty cool, Danny. I think most of our family came over on a boat in the 30s, Bonnie. My family came over from Sicily in, shoot, 28 or something like that. I forget. I'd have to look into it. Perfect. Perfect. I'm glad I remembered that. No lie, Brenda, I can't stop thinking about meeting you now. As soon as you said meet me in Post Falls, it totally took me right back to standing there right as we were leaving and you guys came up and yeah. I'll keep the rest of my thoughts to myself. How about that? Good thoughts, great thoughts, amazing thoughts, Brenda, but Bill Fletcher, how you doing, partner? Haven't seen you in a while. Good morning, Elizabeth. I appreciate you stopping by. Stephen Taylor, C-130s, 131s, C5s, and A10s. That's a pretty good lineup. I like that. Dang, Cat, that's goals right there. Shoo! Well, Raymond, reach out anytime. thefreedomford@gmail.com. I'll talk to you anytime, partner. I appreciate you stopping by here, and I understand that position you're at, and reach out anytime. Reach out anytime. Well, that's a bummer, Brenda. Okay, Hugh, wait a second. You done screwed up there, Hugh. All right, you've already talked enough lingo to get my interest and you know, totally make me understand that you know, your interest and my interest are very similar here. You got my truck out there, my little 74 wrecker. So I got to pick your brain here. You know metalwork, auto body metalwork. Can you do metalwork, or do you know anybody? I need help, Hugh. I need help with my truck. Janet up in Williams? Shoot. I mean, the weather's nice. I'd come up there, but I need to come back down here and get my other vehicle. Oh, I absolutely remember Shop Class Danny. That's what gave me the love that I have for woodworking. I need to get my 75 crew cab mounted on my 2000 650 frame, and I need a little bit of metalwork done. So I need, so basically in my 75 cab, the steering column is vertical. Shit. Bonnie, if you knew about the bulge, you'd understand why. That breaks my heart just thinking about that. Wow, hold on a second. You know, that's just the power of emotion, right? You can relate to something and it just takes over your whole entire body, right? Oh, man. Yeah, Bonnie, I feel that. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. Just because of reading your comment, I feel that heavy. Yeah, anytime, Raymond, anytime. Bill, where are you at? I don't remember where you're at, Bill. Forgive my emotion, you guys. Friggin' A. That's right, Bill, that's right. I'm an empath, or I'm extremely empathic. And I've done a lot of research into the Battle of the Bulge. And I've read a lot of case studies or war accounts or actual events, and when you read the journals and the memos and the reports and you hear a lot of those stories, you know, it affects you. And all you had to do was say the Battle of the Bulge, and it affects me, you know. I feel that connection. I feel that pain. I feel that sympathy, that sorrow, that hurt from my family, relatives that I grew up around that were active, that my friends that were active, myself that was active, everything that connects to that. I feel that. And yeah. Cat, 100%. I'm very good at that. Very, very good. The eyes tell a lot. The eyes tell a lot. Lori Brown following outside the chat, so you're one of the creeps. I see how it is. Right on, Lori. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoy the stream. I'm glad I could share it with you and you could enjoy. Cat, 100%. That's why that's okay. Cat, you can understand that 100% more now. That is why the Freedom Ford likes to stay away from the main crowd. That's why the Freedom Ford always stayed on the outskirts. That's why I always took me time. That's why I always went out into nature. Because being around that crowd, Cat, holy crap. As an empath, being in that convoy, see, I don't have people I can talk to about this type of stuff, Cat. Because, you know, most Christians and Western world people think this is fringe. But I'll tell you, yeah, holy crap, Cat. Holy crap. I can't even put words around it. I'm still in the new beginning stages of learning all this kind of energetic stuff. And yeah, brutal. Yeah, Janet, that's a beyond understatement. Beyond understatement. Danny, that's not saying much. I've been on the USS Midway. But was it sailing when you were on it, Danny? Because mine was anchored, and it ain't moving forever. Yeah, Hugh. Exactly. Wow. See, I love my people on here. You guys are great. You guys are great. Oh, I love it, Danny. I love it. I had to tease, you know. I've been on it too. And it's floating. Oh, shoot. It's just not going nowhere. Oh, shoot. Man, what is the weather? Golly. Oh, you know. Let's see. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Raymond, that one. Bonnie, I agree with that. I think every citizen in the U.S. should have to do 2 years. We wouldn't have this crap going on that we got going on now, that's for sure. Whoa. Bill Fletcher, because the F650 Freedom Ford that I have, hold on you guys, hold on a second, hold on. What do you call? Where do we go? Bill. Oh, okay, so the reason why is because, okay, let's go back a little bit. let's face facts. There's nothing better than an old highboy Ford pickup truck from the late 60s or early 70s. I just got the cool down warning on my phone, guys, so if it shuts out, that's what's going on. So we're gonna lose the view for a little bit, and we're just gonna get some AC vent for a second. So given that those Ford trucks were the best, Bill, and I found out about them at a very young age. In my teens, I found out about those trucks. I searched and searched